Oh, Fast and Furious franchise. For years I've overlooked the fact that you are the epitome of almost everything wrong with modern cinema. Your bloated, overstuffed films where the laws of physics don't matter, the characters though engaging are flat, and the word family is used more often than in an episode of EastEnders, but it's always been a blast to spend some time in a superhero film that isn't either the MCU or the DCEU. But now the spell is broken, the scales have fallen from my eyes, and I really and truly don't know where we go from here. Because where before I've loved you as the film equivalent of a large shaggy dog that demolishes half the room every time it wags its tail, but you never feel anything bad towards it, this film just feels not quite right. For a start, this film has 57 different titles, which smacks of committee think and a general lack of focus which follows through into the film itself, and this is very much a film of two halves, and where in most films these two work together to create a whole, here we have a man rediscovering and recontextualizing what he thought he knew about his past, whilst at the same time trying to stop the world from being destroyed by a completely wasted Charlize Theron in a role that would barely count as a cameo, let alone worthy of all the poster space she's gotten. At least she's got a decent haircut this time, and that's not you, Fast and Furious. You've never been split focus. Ever since you went mad with money at the beginning of Fast 5 and the Order of the Phoenix, your plots have been simple but at the same time focused. You've never been split before. I know that allegedly you're ending in 2 films' time, barring spin-offs, prequels, reboots, etc. But could you not have had these as 2 of the plots? This one to get rid of Theron, or setting up the next film where the brother is her final act of spite. And speaking of the brother, I knew his arc from frame 1, you knew his arc from the trailers, my aunt who's never seen any of these films guessed his arc and it went exactly by the numbers. Was there no other twist you could have pulled, especially given the overstuffed ending? Oh, the ending. Where once there was the big set piece went. In this film we have 2 at the same time against a ticking clock, but I didn't care. The adrenaline rush wasn't there, the smile on my face wasn't there as my inner 8-year-old fidgeted and waited for the film to be over so we could go home and watch Hobbs and Shaw again. In one finale, you had the stunt that was spoiled in all the trailers and was ripped off from that most overrated of films, The Dark Knight. You heard me. Hashtag Adam West is my Batman. And in the other, where it should have worked, it instead felt rushed and tacked on. It created so many holes that could have been avoided with this film more focused and not at war with itself. At once a small, intimate film about family, whilst at the same time trying to save the world from a widget that does a bad thing. And why did you have to bring back so many characters? You've done so many retcons now that what started out as a reimagining of Point Break is now an overcomplicated mess. Just do the car racing thing, grumble about family, let me have my brief moment of joy in this dark, gloomy world, because you are still in there, Fast and Furious. I see it in your mad stunts at the start, your attempts to try and keep some practical effects, and your use of terrible CGI, so I knew when you couldn't do the mad car stunts. At least, I hope it was intentionally bad CGI. With a budget like yours, it'd better be intentionally bad CGI. But I never thought I could be bored in one of your films, and I was. I never thought I would care enough about your plots to pick holes in it, or about your plot holes enough to be annoyed by them. You were a rush, a blast, an antidote to the bland, safe, predictable AAA releases unleashed upon the world by the evil empire. You were my guilty pleasure, my love, my default choice for Saturday afternoons when I couldn't find a Ray Harryhausen movie on old school TV, but now your ingredients are still there, but the end meal is off, the villain's weak, and barring a fun conversation about Master Yoda, completely forgettable. Your big stunts revealed in the trailers, and the ones that weren't given enough time to breathe and allow me to soak in the ridiculousness of the situation. And why have you had one character try to point out to another all the mad things they survive purely by the grace of plot armor? That's not how you do this sort of thing, and it just smacks of writers patting themselves on the back whilst not doing anything for the audience or immersion in your world. You should have either been about a man with a young son coming to terms with their past, with a major decision that they thought was right and might now have cause to look at again via the medium of street racing, or be about trying to stop a villain from a Saturday morning cartoon trying to take over the world.
Of course!
At least, I think that's what they were trying to do. It didn't make much sense. If only you had picked a lane and stuck to it. Trying to do both is just confusing and dull towards the end. I wasn't even sure what country they were supposed to be in, let alone what everyone was trying to do. Am I still excited for the next one, which I can only hope will be called Fast 10 Your Seatbelt in 3D? Yes, but not as much as I was. Is there still enjoyment here? Yes, but not as much as there should have been. For so long, Fast and Furious has been both a globe-trotting action-adventure series and a series about family made not of blood but of love and trust, and this is where the cracks started showing, where these two very, very different plates started wobbling. You were fun, Fast and Furious, and let us hope that this is just a misstep, because if you falter, I fear it would break my cinematic heart. So, with sorrow, if nothing else is on, check this film out. But what did you guys think, and what is your favourite film where a character looks back on their past? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a Dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.